Welcome back, Nick Lenz, Comic Corner, Classics Last Non-Classic. This is episode number 368 and Doubleshot number 294. Okay? Two Marvel trades. First up, it's Captain America, White, by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Yeah, this is my fourth trade I've actually reviewed where a collection is written by these two awesome dudes. Now, Loeb, basically, when he's by himself, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's really bad. AKA Ultimatum and Ultimates 3. But usually, sometimes he's on his own, usually he does try on good stuff, like the first 26 issues of Superman and Batman. His one for Superman was actually pretty interesting. Hush I actually liked. But honestly, I think anybody can point to the fact that he's had two really bad stinkers in the former Ultimatum and Ultimates 3. But whenever he's with Tim Sale, it turns out really good. This trade collects issues 0 through 5. Now, I should point this out that issue 0 came out in 2008. The remaining issues didn't come out until 2016. I honestly don't know why Loeb took so. I don't know why they took so long. Excuse me. I don't know why they took 8 years to come up with the remaining 5 issues. It really makes no sense. Someone actually said that this artwork looks like kind of like stuff you would see in the Golden Age. Yeah. But that's how Tim Sale draws stuff. Tim Sale is an awesome artist. Now, I've never read anything that he's done, Tim Sale, where he's not working with Jeff Loeb. The only things I've read, aside from the Colors books, basically Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, Hulk Gray, obviously Captain America White, the trilogy of Bat books that he did with Jeff Loeb, like Long Halloween, Dark Victory, and Haunted Night. Of course, I have not read Superman for All Seasons, but I've never read anything where he's not with Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb, I have read stuff where he's not worked with Tim Sale, but usually when he turns out stuff with Tim Sale, it usually turns out really, really good. This is set, obviously, during the events of Captain America comics. Yeah, this is actually something a bit different that Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale have done when it comes to Marvel stuff, because usually it's set like during the Silver Age. This is actually set during the Golden Age, during like the original Captain America comics run. They don't necessarily show his origin story, because that's been shown many times. I mean, people know Captain America's origin story by heart. It's very simple. A guy who was probably too thin to be joined, a guy who volunteers for an experiment, and he gets injected with the super soldier. In the film, it's him getting penicillin first. That's what the injection is. That's a nod to how he gets in the comics. And him being put into this gigantic, I don't know, this iron lung. And then the serum is in like 6 vials. And it gets poured into his body. And that's how he becomes Captain America. Even though that's similar to how he got in the comics. But the movie did it a little bit more interesting way than just Jack one needle, turns pink, bam, he becomes super strong. Though in the comic, necessarily don't have to do that. Now, there are some things that are really good about this. Now, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale do throw in a love interest for Captain America in form of a French resistance fighter called the Gypsy, which they do make out at the end. They also team up with Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos. Yep, they throw those guys in there. You know they weren't actually had their stories published in the Golden Age. They had the stories published in the Silver Age, but they're set during World War II. Simply put, this is a World War II series. Heck, I think it's a second issue in here. Yeah, I believe it's a second issue in here. Like the first issue opens up basically with Cap and Bucky going to a movie to see Captain America, and then you see a scene that's actually pulled directly from Captain America Comics #1 of how Bucky finds out that Steve Rogers is Captain America. And it shows their training, which is really nice. In issue 2, we have a scene directly pulled from Avengers #4. Yep. The issue where Steve Rogers comes modern day. This of course, issue came out in 1964, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I should also point out, this is most of the Avengers lineup at that particular point in time. And I gotta praise Tim Sale for basically using this kind of level of technology. I think this is I don't know if this is accurate level technology they had back in the 60s, but it's close enough. And this is close to exactly how to do it. And of course, you see the regular Nick Fury, the white one, not the black one that people tend to see now. The one that looks like Sam Jackson from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, but this is the original one. You also get a chance to see Dum Dum Dugan, which is really nice to see him. Yeah, you actually don't see him that often in comic books. I think the most recent appearance I saw of him was actually in the pages of New Avengers, where they actually fixed that dumb retcon, where apparently he got killed off in the 60s and he got replaced by an he's been operating as LMD for years. Though, in the case of Al Irving, he actually kind of fixed that and said, oh yeah, his body's actually alive and all, it's been in stasis for years. But, yeah. I gotta praise also one other thing. In the Sergeant Fury and Howling Commando series, Nick Fury basically he looked like this. Very unshaven per se. Yeah, this is how basically people were back in when they were in combat. Half the time they didn't have time to shave. Whenever they do shave, they just basically do it in a hurry, or they do it like last minute. I mean, there's stuff here did with like Omaha Beach, like similar to Omaha Beach, stuff like that. Yeah, D-Day. But this is one amazing miniseries, and Loeb and Sale did a fantastic job with this. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. This is purely good. Oh, I should also point out that Submariner shows up for one of these issues. Why not? He operated during World War II, so why not? 10 out of 10. Next up is Wolverine versus Deadpool. This collects various times these two have fought each other over the years. From Wolverine Volume 2, issue 88, and 154 155, Deadpool number 27, Cable and Deadpool 43 to 44, Wolverine Origins 21 to 25, and let's see, Wolverine / Deadpool Decoy number 1, and material from Wolverine Annuals 95 and 99. Now, who does these particular books? Let's see here. They don't list off on the opening page. You have to look in the actual issues themselves. Issue 88 is done by Larry Hama, with artwork by Adam Kubert and Fabio Lagina. Yeah, this is a sample of the artwork. Yeah, I think this is the first time these two ever fought each other in a comic book, or at least when they met each other. Yeah. Oh, I should also point out that Wolverine 155 to 154 155, the artwork is done by Rob Liefeld during his brief return to Marvel in late 90s. The annual 95, that's done by Chris Golden. Those of you who might be familiar with that name, he's the guy who co-writes a lot of the Hellboy universe stuff with Mike Mignola. With artwork, and the artwork in here is done by Ben Hurina. I think that's how you pronounce the guy's name. The artwork is not too bad. Yeah. Let's see, what else in here? Let's see. Did I skip page? No, I don't think I did. Now, the Deadpool issue is obviously done by Joe Kelly, and the artwork I think is done by Walter McDaniel. Yeah, I thought it was Woohoo. My mistaken. Yeah, that's the guy's artwork. Joe Kelly. Oh, I also point out that this Deadpool issue had a guest appearance by Howard the Duck villain, Dr. Bong. No joke, that's really his name. He's a seedless villain who's heavily associated with Howard the Duck. Yeah, and Joe Kelly, those of you who not know who Joe Kelly is a longtime comic writer who was, when people think of him, what's the first book usually longtime comic fans usually think of he's been on? Deadpool. He had a great run on the book. He did a majority of the first volume by himself, writing-wise. He didn't do the whole book by himself. He had artwork with it too. He's also done some JLA, Superman. The guy's a damn good writer. He makes the books interesting and very entertaining to read. Okay, the Annual 99 is done by, let's see if I can find the credits page here. Annual 99 is done by Mark Andrego, one of his early works. Yep. And another annual done by Walter McDaniel. Yep. This is another annual. This is another book in here done by him. Yeah, it's second one done in here by him. Let's see here. Now the Wolverine Origins issues, those are done by Daniel Way and the late Steve Dillon. Yeah, I say late because he passed away just last year. I would love to meet the guy. Obviously, here's Wolverine 154. Yeah, this is Rob Liefeld artwork. He doesn't draw Wolverine too bad, probably because he kept ripping the guy off in the pages of Youngblood. Yeah, he's a co-plotter with this with Eric Stevenson, another Youngblood writer. And this is actually, I heard something about this. Rob Liefeld did an interview where after he left Image, he briefly did some stuff with Deadpool in the pages of Wolverine. And this is actually one of the comics he did do. This was a quick little 2-part story. And he draws Deadpool, well, not much different than he draws him in the pages of Deadpool Core. Yeah, it's simply the same design he uses. But he doesn't draw Wolverine too bad. Yeah. And let's see here. And of course, there's this. Yep. Rob Liefeld was known for doing this a lot in the pages of Youngblood. If you ever read Youngblood, half the time these are 2-page spreads you have to turn on their side. Yeah, you have to do this a lot. I got to admit, these 2 issues are actually not bad. In the case of Rob Liefeld, at least he's drawing feet now, because half the time he was afraid to draw feet in the 90s. Of course, I wasn't reading comics in the 90s. This is what I've heard. Cable and Deadpool is written by other co-creator of Deadpool, Fabian Nicieza, with artwork by Ron Lim. He does, I believe, issue 43 and 44, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here's a sample of the guy's artwork. It's really good. Let's see here. Yeah, he does both these 2 books. Yeah, and I should point out these 2 issues came out. Now, Cable apparently got killed off in issue 42, but he later returned Messiah Complex. I don't know why Nicieza did that for, but he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, like I said, Wolverine Origins is done by Daniel Way and Steve Dillon. Here's a sample of Steve Dillon's artwork. I really enjoy this guy's artwork. Now, he only did Wolverine Origins for the first 25 issues. Daniel Way did the whole 50 issues himself. Yep. Even after Steve Dillon stopped doing the artwork for the series, Daniel Way stayed with the series until its final issue, which was issue 50, which ended, I believe, in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they had the series going for over 4 years. It was a great series to read. Yeah. And of course, this is probably the reason why Daniel Way probably also had a chance during this period of time. Actually, about 2 years before he ended in Wolverine Origins, he was given a chance to write Deadpool. He did it for 4 years. And he put out 62 issues in 4 years, which is actually pretty good. Wolverine Deadpool The Decoy, that's done by Stuart Moore, and artwork by Sean Crystal. And, yeah, this is a Scotty Young variant. Yeah, this is Scotty Young cover. He also did the covers for Cable and Deadpool. Here's a sample of the artwork in the Decoy book, which is done by Sean Crystal. It's not bad artwork per se, but yeah, I think it's also the last time that Wolverine and Deadpool actually fought each other. And of course, Wolverine is wearing his, from what I can tell, I think it's his Manifest Destiny costume, which was actually one of the last costumes he wore before he got killed off in Death Wolverine. Awesome miniseries, by the way, I highly recommend it. This is the only reason why I think that Marvel did this trade is because there have been rumors of this, some of this happened in the X-Men films, that this might happen, where Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will take on Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. So I guess Marvel's like, okay, let's just put their various fights in a trade. And it's not a bad idea to do. I mean, it's not like the way with Deadpool #1s, which was just a cash grab. This was actually a much better idea to do. I mean, Wolverine versus Deadpool. Who doesn't want to get a trade like this? Especially as Deadpool is super popular now. Yep. Despite its price being $30, I think I got this from the library. It's really good. I highly recommend it. People are fans of both Wolverine and Deadpool. You get your money's worth with this thing. Yeah, they do fight each other a lot of the time. excuse me, I'm gonna get this a 9 out of 10. Okay. Yeah, just various fight scenes with them. Like, also in the Wolverine Origins book, in that 5-parter, they had Wolverine's son Dakin show up along with the Winter Soldier, which was revealed in the flashback that Winter Soldier actually killed Wolverine's first wife. He's married twice. The woman who was Dakin's mother and Viper. Yeah, he married her briefly, and then the only reason why he married her was because so she could control Mandrapore, but currently Mandrapore is under the control of Tiger. Okay? But, yeah. That's it for this episode. Stay tuned for episode 369. Hopefully it's going to be a double shot, but double shot is going to be Doubleshot. I think it's going to be 294, 5, if not mistaken. Yeah, 295. Okay? Until then, I will see you there. Bye.